Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to lose it and have a temper tantrum in the middle of a hearing because Jamie Raskin was being mean to her and Donald Trump.
Would the gentlelady yield for a question?
No, I will not yield to one of your stupid questions that are always attacking me and attacking President Trump.
How about a mediocre
question? No, I don't want
question?
I do not want
An
your
excellent question?
No.
A smart question?
No, my time.
An intelligent question?
You have no smart or intelligent questions.
While it wasn't clear in that video why exactly she was throwing a tantrum, she later clarified on Twitter, saying that Jamie Raskin was criticizing her use of the term hostages to describe the January 6th insurrectionists. Now, here is what Jamie Raskin had to say about that.
During some of her heckling of our colleagues, the gentlelady from Georgia described the January 6th insurrectionists, who I know are close to her heart, as political prisoners and as hostages. I'm sorry, the Proud Boys are not political prisoners like Nelson Mandela or Alexander Solzhenitsyn. The Oath Keepers are not hostages like the people being held, Israelis and Americans being held by Hamas. A hostage is someone who has been illegally abducted by a criminal organization and held for a financial or a political ransom. And the thought that they would compare people, a majority of whom have pled guilty for assaulting federal officers, destroying federal property, or engaging in seditious conspiracy, which means conspiracy to overthrow the government, to hostages or to political prisoners, demonstrates the complete collapse of critical thinking skills on that side of the aisle. I would hope some of Ms. Greene's colleagues, and not just on the Democratic side, but on the Republican side, would at least disassociate themselves from the claim that that convicted January 6th insurrectionists are political prisoners or hostages. I know that Donald Trump has trafficked in such foul abuse. I know that Elise Stefanik has repeated his claims for her own reasons, but I would hope that others would maintain the essential semantic, logical, rational, and moral distinction between people who have been convicted of assaulting our officers and people who've been abducted by terrorist organizations. I thank the gentleman from Texas, and I yield back.
Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to compare the prisoners who are serving time for attempting an insurrection on January 6th to any hostage, especially around the time where you have Hamas taking hostages, both Israeli and American hostages. For her to equate those two groups of people is utterly insane. And that's not the only recent insanity from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here she is trying to equate the January 6th insurrectionists with the people who came to attend Joe Biden's inaugural.
Came to Washington and protested. All of you called it an insurrection. And then when Joe Biden was inaugurated and this entire Capitol complex was surrounded with 30,000 National Guard troops, none of you stood there and called that an insurrection. Oh no. Democrats and dishonest people in the media every single day accuse President Trump of waging an insurrection and accuse many of us of waging an insurrection, and you're doing nothing but lying and selling the lies of the Democrats, all for campaigns and elections. Shame on every single person that has done that. Shame on you. You need to tell the truth. You have the freedom of press, one of the greatest rights in this entire world. And anyone that puts the word insurrectionist, calls President Trump an insurrectionist, and calls any of us an insurrectionist is a liar, and you do not deserve the power that you possess. Shame on you. Shame on you.
So the pattern of Marjorie Taylor Greene's chaos continues, but what also continues is the trend of Jamie Raskin butting heads with these Republicans because he's calling them out. He's fact-checking them. He's explaining the scheme that they're running. So for Jamie Raskin to have him around doing this, especially with the oncoming tidal wave of misinformation coming from Republicans leading up into the 2024 election, man, Jamie Raskin is a national treasure because, you know, he lets us see through the schemes so easily. Speaking of seeing through the Republican madness, join Reflect in the political fight by becoming a monthly member today. Well, you'll get cool perks like discounts on merchandise, early access to videos, live stream member-only chats, and a lot more. So be sure to check that out today. Thanks again for watching. My name is Brendan, and I'll see you in the next video.